Yo, what is up? I know it has been a minute, but you know who it is. Your boys are back.
The boys are back.
And welcome back to Unqualified and Uneducated. I know that it has been, like a 3, 4 week hiatus, but I will say that it was not without cause. For myself, I know school has just started up, so I was pretty busy with getting back into the grind with school and getting my schedule, getting my books, getting all that stuff ready. And Carl, on the
But
other
really,
hand,
how hard was it for you to get your books, though? Let's be honest here.
I got him on the first day of school. Like I got him like 5 minutes after walking on campus. uh, just finding time in the schedule. Still a lot of stuff going on.
You're right.
What about you? And then Carl, we're having a job.
Yeah, man. I just finished my second week full-time teaching. Definitely hard to find some time. A lot of stuff going on. Couldn't keep up my workout routine. Kind of bummed about that. But yeah, it's hard to find time. But I'm glad we're able to get back into it right now, man.
All right, that's good. That's good. So, like, how you been? What were you doing yesterday? What were you? Because I got some Instagram.
Yeah, yesterday I went with my sister, two of my cousins, and one of my cousin's friends. And one of those cousins is a member of the Three Coats, Emma.
Three Coats.
Only the OGs really know about the Three Coats.
I don't even think OGs. I think it's just us we know about the Three Coats.
We are the OGs of the Three Coats.
Okay, so just so you guys, just a disclaimer, the Three Coats are the strongest gang in Northern and Central California, comprised of only 3 members. And the gang only comes out during the wintertime when it's cold enough to wear coats. So
Peacoats.
So all you people out there, all you other gangs, you're safe until the wintertime. Once that wintertime comes out, the Three Coats are there.
And the nice thing about us only coming out in the wintertime is winter really isn't that long, so we don't have to to really show our colors.
Oh yeah, we're not putting that much work in.
Yeah.
And I think we're just if you're a college campus, you might get chopped up one night. And just being real. Sac State, you know what happened. They didn't put that in the news because they were embarrassed about how bad it was. They covered it up.
Like, who the hell did all this stuff?
Yeah,
man?
that president of the school, I don't know, I forgot his name. His name's like Robert something. Yeah, he covered it up because we covered up Sac State so much with that chalk. Yeah.
We antagonized all those fraternities and sororities, man. They didn't know what was going on.
Yeah, you know how we get down. But, so those are the Three Coats. But, that Carl's cousin, myself, and Carl are part of the Three Coats. And I was getting so many Instagram messages about your guys' trip.
So what actually happened was we ended up going on a hike in Montana del Oro, right there by San Luis Obispo.
Oh, okay.
And by Morro Bay. So it's a cool little hike, but, so I found some virtual apps for my phone on the way. I figured out that, you know how, like, e-cigs and vaping and all that stuff, that's like a big thing?
Yeah.
Bro, I got my own e-cig, my own e-beer, and my own e-razor, and I just got to demo those out. So Emma and I decide we gotta send a chug, or see a chug, send a chug. The boy Rob with my e-beer. So that's what we did. I chugged the beer, and Emma chugged it too.
Oh yeah.
Sent it through to Robert and forced him to send something back.
Yo, I don't even understand what's the point of those apps. Like, what do they do? Is it sort of like some people that are that addicted to cigarettes just having a cigarette on the phone?
It'll say like drink virtual beer, and then in parentheses prank. So it's to prank people. On the reviews in the comments, it said, man, this app sucks. It only works the first time.
Oh man, shout out to what is it? Virtual Sig, Virtual Beer.
Yeah, whatever that stuff is, man. Shout out to your guys' app. I respect it.
Shout out. It's not available through the iTunes store. Uh,
Oh, really?
cause I downloaded I sent you guys a video back and it was just like it turned my phone like the screen on my phone just turned to beer, and
Yeah,
if I tilted
exactly.
I tilted it and then the beer just like disappeared. So it was super corny and lame. I don't know why I participated in that. I
Oh
just
man,
I
we
just
had a good time
I
though.
just feel like I don't know how or why, but I feel like it's always my membership in the three coats that's called into question. I don't like, and I feel like I feel a little insulted, to tell you the truth, because like I never call you guys out for your memberships, never once. But for some reason it's always, oh, you gotta do it for the three coats.
That's that was the way that we could force you to do the
It doesn't
to
make
send a chug back to
I
us
know
was
it
we had to
doesn't.
force your hand.
Nah, it doesn't make any sense because like at this point I should be, I should my membership should be cemented. And Emma was not even a founder though. Like I was a co-founder. You and I founded that group together, and Emma was just there. But respect to the work that she's put in. But I'm just saying, I don't understand how my membership is called into question. Like I feel like every year and a half to 2 years, it gets called into
Yeah,
question.
yeah. That's just usually Emma's main way of calling you out and keeping you on your toes and forcing you to participate. You know.
I guess so. Well, keep it up. Keep it up. Three coats. Three coats are making it big this year. Making it big. So watch out for the three coats. All right.
So
So
you do anything recently?
recently, uh, no, man. Truthfully, like I've just been at Sac State, and it's just weird being there because like I'm really seeing like how young the incoming freshmen are
Yeah.
and how ridiculous they dress. Like
Yeah.
they like there's just it's crazy. Like there's just like and you can tell they're freshmen and they're just like in full on makeup, full on dresses. It looks like they're going to like a wedding, and you're like, dude, it's like 94 degrees outside. Why are you wearing that, bruh? And like or like the girls are wearing that, and then like the guys are just wearing like super dressed up clothing, and it's like, dude, I know for a fact you only have two classes today, man. Like, who are you trying to press? You get here at 7, you leave at 12.
I
Like,
know. I don't know why people feel the need to get all dressed up and everything.
mm-hmm.
I'm like, damn, you're just going to school.
Just
Chill
going to
out.
school, and I know, there's always that saying. Like my pops would always tell me, you want to be presentable because you never know if you could run in to the right one. And I used to believe that I did, but now I feel like you know if she's only choosing me just on the way I dress,
There it
she's
is.
not the right one. It's
That's the
just
truth, man.
it's yeah
If
it's
she's the right one and she sees you in some basketball shorts, some
basketball shorts
sandals,
and
and some
sandals.
janky ass t-shirt,
Yep,
then she should like you no matter what.
she's the one. If she likes you then and there, that's the one. Not the one that have to wear like a fresh iron pair of Levi's, a button-up shirt, you know, and wear those boat shoes. If I gotta wear that to get a date with you, you're not worth it. It's not. It's not. It's not. It's not gonna work. And
It's not gonna work, and it just sounds expensive.
it is. And I gotta do that every day. Like every day. That's a lot of
I don't
work.
even know how to iron, bro.
I haven't ironed my clothes since I moved out. Like, and now that I've moved back in, my clothes have been ironed. And when I say I haven't ironed my clothes, I mean my mom hasn't ironed my clothes since I moved out. And now that I've moved back in, she started ironing my clothes again. But it's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable to go from like creases to like non-crease clothing instantly. I don't like it. I miss the wrinkles in my shirts.
Yeah, man. The wrinkles are where it's at, man. That's what gives your shirt depth,
Character.
character. Yeah, exactly.
And I like that. And another thing is, I'm at the well, the workout facility at Sac State where the students can. It's the gym. It's the gym. It has a basketball court, an indoor track, and a workout area. I don't understand why girls go to the well with makeup on and work out. I don't understand how that works.
Girls always trying to finesse people, man.
It doesn't make any sense. Like, how do you work out with makeup on? Isn't that uncomfortable?
I I have no idea.
Like, cause like I've put lotion on my face and went to work out, and I started sweating, and that stuff started sweating, and like it's all in my mouth and everything. I'm like, that's
Oh,
disgusting. You know what I mean? And then just to have like makeup, there was one girl in there. She had lipstick on, eyeliner, like the face mask on. She had the whole get up, and she was out there, squatting away. I was just like, bruh, you look like you're in pain. It's like it's just like they're trying so hard to work out, but at the same time, it's like they don't want to sweat. So it's just like, why are you even here? Just go to class. Like,
everybody out here just trying to impress. It's the same as when those yoked ass dudes be going to the gym and they got that muscle shirt that's cut all the way down, so there's 1 centimeter left of fabric
yeah,
under
yeah,
the. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah,
And then
yeah.
they wear some shorts that are like 3 sizes too small.
Yep, that is. Yeah, it's just like, yeah, it's crazy. Like, I mean, I guess I guess I kind of understand it because sometimes the weight room is just like the watering hole in the animal kingdom. You're just trying to get a fresh piece of meat,
Yeah.
and you just kind of just gotta mark your territory out there. So, yeah, Sac State students, keep doing you. Keep wearing makeup to the gym, and running. Keep wearing those cut off meat shirts, guys. You keep doing you guys. We approve. We approve.
You do you. You
Yeah,
do you.
exactly. It's 2018. Live your best life. I'm
Exactly.
living my best life. All right, so let's get to the nitty gritty. So we're starting off with saying R.I.P. and congratulations and farewell and my condolences, all the good stuff to Manu. What's his middle name?
uh, Argentina.
Margin. Manu Ginobili. How long he spent? What is it, 15, 16 years?
Honestly, more years than I can count up to on two hands.
Yeah, Manu Ginobili has retired from the NBA. And honest to tell you the truth, it was kind of a foregone conclusion after Tony Parker left. I just couldn't see, 16 seasons. I just couldn't see Manu staying after Tony Parker left, Kawhi Leonard left. I just, I just felt that there was just nothing left of the old Spurs, except, I mean, there's Pop, but
Yeah.
just his old team. He was losing playing time. Tony Parker was losing playing time.
And they both of them just
Are
they're
old.
not the same.
Yeah,
They're just
they're
different.
old.
Manu can't produce like he used to. Tony Parker, I don't even know how he signed a 2 year
Oh
a
yeah,
2 year deal. Anyways,
yeah. That thing with Tony Parker was weird because he signed with the Hornets because he would get more playing time behind Kemba Walker. Are you telling me that he would get more playing time behind Kemba Walker than behind DeJounte Murray? That whole thing doesn't make
yeah,
any sense.
maybe Pop's just going for that young movement now.
It's got to. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. But, Manu Ginobili, congratulations, man. 16 seasons. How many championships? I think he had 3.
As many as I can count
Oh, man.
on at least one hand, I bet.
Yeah, so he had 3 championships. Probably he's the best Argentine basketball player ever. Probably top. He's got it, like, off the top of my head, probably top 10 foreign player to ever play in the NBA.
Oh yeah,
He's got to be. Got to be top 10. He's made a lot of money, made a lot of memories. Is he a Hall of Famer?
Yeah.
He's going to the Hall of Fame. And if he's not a first ballot Hall of Fame, he's going in as like one of those great Spurs teams. Going to have his number retired. Do the Spurs give statues?
Do they give statues?
I don't think they do because
If they
David.
give statues, there's definitely has to be one for David Robinson and one for Tim Duncan.
Best. Who's the top 5 Spurs of all time?
David Robinson, Tim Duncan.
What's the order? What's the order
Tony
though?
Parker.
No, what's the
Manu Ginobili.
what's the order? What's the order? I know it's Tim Duncan first.
Tim Duncan probably above David Robinson,
Okay, Tim Duncan.
and then David Robinson.
Now the third is it Manu or Tony?
Tony Parker,
Tony Parker, and then
Manu
Manu.
Ginobili, and Robert Horry.
Oh, Robert Horry, man. Dang, man.
But to be honest, I guess Kawhi Leonard would be
Dang,
fit for me. I
that's
just
pretty
don't know any
bad.
other Spurs.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I wanted to say Kawhi, but I was like, he just left, you know. But then there's not a lot of there's like George Kurt. Nah,
Steve Kerr was on the Spurs
Steve
for
Kerr was
a
on the
season or
Spurs.
two,
Yeah,
wasn't he?
yeah. The Spurs just haven't had that many notable guys on their team.
Also, my knowledge of the history of the Spurs is not ideal.
Yeah, mine goes pretty much as far as Tim Duncan getting to the league.
Yeah,
And up until that point, really all they had was Tim Duncan and David Robinson.
yeah.
And their
The
backcourt,
original Twin Towers.
yeah, their backcourts were like always trash until they got Tony Parker and Manu Ginobili. They had what's that fool's name that used to cheat a lot with the buck teeth? Oh man, Bruce Bowen. They had that fool.
Oh shoot! You know what? He's
Yeah.
probably in the top 5 then.
Yeah, he's probably like. I mean, I might have to put him over Kawhi, but Kawhi because he won championships,
Yeah.
and then Kawhi just dipped. So Bruce Bowen's probably in that top, that top area. So we got
Much respect and love to that old Spurs team. They really changed that outlook on foreign players. I think they're one of the first teams to bring in some guys from overseas and
like
actually win with them and have them produce in their team.
yeah, they had Popovich. He kind of like got the NBA started with that. There was always foreign players before the Spurs, but they were the ones that really specialized in bringing foreign players. Because Tim Duncan's a foreign player. Like he's from the Virgin Islands, so you start off with Tim Duncan and Manu Ginobili, Tony Parker. Those are all those foreign guys. You got Boris Diaw. They turned Boris Diaw into something, even though he was already in the league.
They had that full Bertans right now or
Yeah,
whatever.
Bertans. Wally Zerbiak was on the squad for a little bit, I think. Who else was on there? Oh, Boban was originally with the Spurs.
Oh, that's right, Boban.
Boban was originally with the Spurs. So they got the NBA started with the foreign love affair, and I mean of course you had guys like Dirk Nowitzki out there and him doing his thing and Yao Ming at the time, but I would say the Spurs were the most foreign team, and I would say they were probably, now that it's all said and done, I'm gonna say that Tim Duncan was probably the best player of the 2000s. Before, he's probably the best player from like 2000. After Shaq got his MVPs? Nah, he was probably
Think
the
he's
best.
better than Kobe?
Yeah, he was better than Kobe. Way better.
Ooh.
Better than Kobe. Kobe's overrated, bro. Like,
You can't say he's overrated.
yeah, he's overrated, bro. Like, see, the thing is, Kobe's probably like, if you like rank him in like the top, like his top ranking of all time, he's probably like, where people rank him, people want to say he's like up there with Jordan and LeBron. Where he's probably like in the top 20 to 15.
Yeah, I could see him being 10 to 15.
Yeah, he's in that area. So, but people say he's like the second coming of Jordan. He's better than LeBron. He's better than this. He's not even like the best Laker, and he wasn't even the best player of his era. Like, he only won one MVP.
But that was botched, bruh. Steve Nash won 2 MVPs.
Yeah, but even if Steve Nash didn't win those MVPs, they should have went to Shaq.
Yeah.
And then, yeah.
So then wouldn't Shaq be the best player?
Shaq, I would say, yeah.
Well, I guess he was in like the early 2000s.
Yeah, I would say, yeah, he was, until he started, because I was watching a documentary, and he was saying that he didn't work out because he knew he had Kobe. He didn't work out hard enough because Kobe was on his team, and he knew Kobe could go and get 40 every night. So Shaq said that he would come into the season out of shape, and then he would play throughout the season to get himself back in shape.
Gosh dang it.
And he and Kobe said that's what pissed him off about Shaq, and Shaq agreed, and he admitted to that. So I can't be like, nah, this guy's the best player, or like Tim Duncan. You got to understand, like the Spurs. I think up until last year, I think it was last year or the year before, they had won 50 games every season and since Tim Duncan was drafted, and they've always been in the playoffs. Like that level of consistency, you gotta credit that.
No, and I'm not mad about it because I love Tim Duncan, and
Yeah.
I love to think of him as the best player of the 2000s. It's just I don't know. There could be other names too.
I mean, we could. I mean, we should. I mean, we could definitely go down. Like you go down the list. You got Shaq, Tim Duncan, KG, Chris Webber, Kobe, Steve Nash, Dirk Nowitzki. Um, you know,
Gilbert Arenas,
Jason Kidd. You know, and then you have like you know Yao Ming,
Allen Iverson.
Allen Iverson. You know, you got those 10 guys. You can kind of slide Tracy McGrady in there, Vince Carter. Um, you know, those are the guys that you're. Probably missing a couple of people, but you know those are the main guys you're building your franchise guys.
Yeah,
And Tim Duncan, you know, and the only person I can say that's really better than Tim Duncan would be Shaq, but Shaq didn't have the work ethic of Tim Duncan.
yeah, I could see that. I like that.
So I would say I'm putting Tim Duncan as you know the best player of that era, that
I'm on
early,
board.
and then you know just the consistency. He has more championships than Shaq. What does he have? What does he have? 5?
Tim Duncan,
He has 5 or 4, right?
some amount that I can count on one hand. I
Yeah,
bet
I think he has 5. He won.
he won championships. He was the model player for basketball for however many years he played, almost 20, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I like that.
Yeah, and he's arguably the best like power forward
Yeah,
of all
five
time.
five championships.
Yeah, he has 5 rings, 15-time All Star, 3 times Finals MVP, 2-time Most Valuable Player in 2002 and 2003.
He's probably the best power forward of all time.
He is the best power forward of all time. Kobe's not even like the best shooting guard of all time.
Yeah, but you can never be the best shooting guard of all time when Michael Jordan's there.
Yeah, it's not Tim Duncan's fault. No, but so like I think that Spurs team. I wouldn't say like the whole team. Like I would say the Spurs team has probably the best consistency out of any team in the history of the NBA. I mean, you got the Lakers and the Celtics winning the most championships, but they both like go through like periods of like death. Like
Yeah, those peaks and valleys.
yeah, the Spurs like they just stay in the playoffs, and what you got to understand, being in the playoffs makes more money, allows you to drive your ticket sales up. You know, there's a lot with being what comes with the playoff being in the playoffs. You get a lot more money being a playoff team. So like I out of like if you told me like oh, okay, knowing like their careers and their levels of consistency, which player would you rather have? Kobe Bryant, Chris Webber, Shaq, Tim Duncan, you know, those top like 5 kg. I might, you know, I feel like I'm taking Tim Duncan. And I know you could say like Pop had a lot to do with it, you know, and obviously he has, but, you know,
I think that's just Tim Duncan
that's what
though.
I was going to say. Has Pop ever won a championship without Tim Duncan?
I don't think so.
He had David Robinson, you know, second best player in Spurs history and didn't win anything. They didn't win until Tim Duncan got there, and they're not going to win, you know, without him. Even when they had Kawhi, they weren't winning without Tim Duncan.
That's true.
So I'm thinking I'm definitely the only person I would take over Tim Duncan of that era is Shaq. But
Yeah.
you know, Shaq is a difficult thing because you know he's you know it just depends on how he's feeling. Like when he's in like when those that 3-peat era when he was you know really killing it and he was like in that you know that the most dominant player mode. Hell yeah, I'm going with Shaq. But even in that 3-peat era, you know that they had that dynasty. The Kings should have won one of those that year. Like even in that most dominant 3-peat, the Kings should have won. They should have had a championship that year. So you can't even that. So that's even in Game 6 was so bad, or Game 5. It was like 5 or 6 was so bad that you know the officiating should have been looked at. I think one ref went to jail for cheating. You know, so you know, so it's like I'm taking Tim Duncan. There's no chinks in his armor.
Yeah.
And you look at his resume; it's just like pristine. He has probably one of the best resumes in the history of the NBA.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean,
I don't know though. I'd probably have to take Shaq over it.
I'm going with Timmy D.
Just because Shaq was so unstoppable, and also I feel like if you were a franchise, you got to take Shaq because that dude would drive your ticket sales up a lot farther than Tim Duncan.
Yeah, I agree, but I just
From
feel like
from that viewpoint, I guess.
yeah, I agree, but Shaq, like that's the thing though. With Shaq, you still need to have the talent around him. It's not like he's never like drug like people that were like that much like that's the thing. Like he had Kobe, like one of the best players of all time in L.A. And then in Orlando he had Penny Hardaway, and offensively he was just as good as Kobe was. And then in Miami he had Dwayne Wade. So, I mean,
Yeah, but I mean, it was those two, but then on all those teams, they didn't really have much else.
yeah, they did. Like the Lakers were stacked, bro. Like Rick Fox was good. They had Derek Fisher, and then before they had
Yeah, but the Spurs teams were deep too. It's not like Tim Duncan was putting the team on his back every game.
but they weren't like I wouldn't say like Tony Parker and Manu Ginobili were never like at the level of Tim Duncan though. Like
No,
Tim
no.
Duncan, like they weren't even like Tim to me. Tony Parker was like he was an all star, but like you're not building a team around Tony Parker when he was in his prime, would you?
No,
Manu Ginobili, you wouldn't build a team around Manu Ginobili in his prime.
nah.
You could build a team around Kobe when he was in his prime.
Yeah, but I'm just saying. I
Like,
think the Spurs they had a deceptively deep roster.
yeah, but
Like you were saying, they had Bruce Bowen too,
that cheating bastard.
but that dude was sick on defense.
Yeah, and yeah, one of the best defensive, or like one of the best defensive players of that era. Yeah, he was. Yeah, I could. Yeah, I agree. I can see that.
All I'm
argument.
saying is, it's like, yeah, both of them were surrounded by talent. It's not like either Shaq or Tim Duncan were like solely dragging a team through.
Okay, so from my initial argument that Tim Duncan was a better player in that era than Kobe, since you are arguing Shaq now, so that means Kobe lost. So if we go back to my original argument that didn't have Shaq in there, was Tim Duncan versus Kobe. Based on you dropping Kobe and going to Shaq, I would say that Tim Duncan was a better player of that era than Kobe, right?
Hey, that was a pretty good argument. That was pretty good right there. I cannot defend this.
Like you started like you had
It's
Kobe.
because I can't because I really like Tim Duncan. I
Mhm.
really like him. The only reason I threw Kobe in there was because I feel like a lot of people would think that.
Yeah, and they're crazy. They're just Laker fanboys. That's it.
Yeah.
They get it. And Lakers in the NBA, the Lakers are the most like sensitive fans ever.
Yeah, they are.
They're the most irrational.
And
Besides,
they're probably going through such a emotional turmoil right now.
oh, with
With like,
with
who do I
LeBron.
like, Kobe or LeBron?
LeBron, like yeah, they're going crazy. So every time I see a Laker fan, I'm just like, man, hey, LeBron's the best player in the Laker history. And they're just like, it's Kobe. And even before LeBron got there, Kobe was never the best player in Laker history.
No, not
Like
by,
he was like,
not by
he was
chance.
he's probably like top 5 maybe.
Yeah, maybe a top 5 Laker.
Like you have like Kareem, you have Magic, Jerry West, Shaq, Kobe.
Yeah, that's just stacked.
Yeah,
So.
Lakers franchise.
And there's like James Worthy.
Yeah, James Worthy. Byron Scott had some good years. Not better than Kobe, but he had his years. So they've always been stacked. Then you had like the old school like George Mikan or whatever.
Yeah, it's like trying to decide where Paul Pierce would rank among Celtics.
He wouldn't be top 5 though.
No, but I'm just
Yeah,
saying
yeah,
it's
no,
hard
no.
to compare
Yeah.
them to like because they have such a
Deep history.
of,
Yeah, with like Bill Russell, and you had
Yeah.
Larry Bird. Yeah, Bill Russell, Larry Bird, Paris, McHale. Oh yeah, they're stacked.
they're just stacked.
So, oh man, we got super off topic because we were originally just
Manu.
congratulations,
Rip.
Manu. This is congratulations, Manu, for your 16-year career. the championships that you've earned and the millions of Argentinian basketball players that you have inspired.
And thank you for utilizing the Euro step to its greatest ability and deceiving Robert into thinking you're from Europe.
Your Euro step was so good that I could not decipher your nationality. You confused me for about 7 to 8 years.
His Euro step was so good.
I
He made
thought
you think Argentina
Was in Europe. I thought Argentina was in Europe because, all right, I'll explain. I'll explain. Because, Manu Ginobili, around that time, Manu Ginobili was in this prominence was when I first started watching basketball. So he was really the only person at that time that I can remember that would utilize the Euro step. And I remember when he would do it, the announcers would be like, "Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, Manu Ginobili with that Euro step." And I don't remember. If I went back and watched tape, maybe I can remember. But I just don't remember a lot of people doing the Euro step at that time, besides Manu Ginobili. So I'm thinking, oh, Manu Ginobili is just a player from Europe, obviously. And then I found out like his nationality was Argentine. He was Argentinian. So I was like, oh, Argentina's in Europe, probably right next to Spain, or in Catalan. It's like right over there, next to the water. So Manu, your Euro stuff was that was out of all the achievements that you've ever had, I think that's your greatest achievement.
That is definitely his greatest achievement.
You convinced me into believing that Argentina was in Europe. I had it in my mind that it was right next to Spain, Catalan, right, in that area. Obviously, it'll be right there. But R.I.P. to the career. You'll be a Hall of Famer. You're already a Spurs Hall of Famer. And that one time you slapped a bat out of air. That's another achievement. You slapped the crap out of a bat.
That's in the Hall of Fame for sure.
Yeah, Manu has some stats that, that cement him as a Hall of Fame player. And it has nothing to do with basketball.
Most bats slapped in his career.
Most out of any NBA player. That's a stat. That's a stat. Most confused geographically speaking people. You had a chance, Manu. Like I would have my children and my children's children would have thought that Argentina was in Europe. Like would have been like my like when I would have a family, I'd have been like, yeah, let's go to Argentina for vacation, and end up in Europe and can't find it. That's all because of you, Manu. And thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Manu.
All right, so so that's pretty much the only basketball, topic that's going on right now. We're in the dog days of basketball. I mean, other than just waiting on the season to start, I think all the moves have been made. The roster's been set. I think they're just gearing. It's September. Basketball usually starts at the end of October. So I think training camps are going to start coming up. Sometime at the end of this month, early next month, and then you have preseason, and then just little practices, and then the season starts. So, but from now we're in the college football and professional football time. So this was the first weekend of college football. And
foosball.
College foosball. My mama said. So this is the first weekend, and there was a lot, as you could expect, there was a lot of games going on yesterday. Did not manage to catch all of them, and when I say I did not manage to catch all of them, I did not manage to catch any of them. So we could just run through, I think every week we'll just run through scores from most of the college games. There's so many colleges that are playing football. It's hard to watch all of them, but we'll be paying attention to at least to the top 25, the ranked teams. You got you're from your Alabama, Clemson, Georgia, Wisconsin, Ohio State, Miami, Auburn, teams like that, Michigan State.
Yeah, the teams that have those small little numbers next to their name.
Yeah, Virginia Tech. We'll be paying attention to those teams. Florida State. We'll be paying attention to all those teams, and we'll keep you updated on those. Some interesting stat lines from Saturday, And I'm gonna go with the blowouts because those are the most interesting. And we're
Wait,
gonna
Robert, you gotta give them the burger count, bro.
okay. So we have this thing that when we watch games, we we watch games, especially basketball, but it originates from football. So when we're watching a basketball game, if a team scores 40 points or more, we just start yelling burgers. That team got burgers. Doesn't matter if the game was, usually it's the most important time is when the game's over because they officially have the burgers. But if you throw up 40 points to an NBA team, it's burgers. Like it doesn't matter. So they got burgers at one point in the game. Same thing with football. You see a score, and if you're in the 40 points or more range, that's burgers. So, from Saturday's games, only if
Hold on. Before, just give them let's give them a quick like 1-2 minute background on where this burgers came from.
okay, so back the burgers. So this term is actually not mine, and I hope shout out to the seniors of my high school football team. When I was a junior in high school at Highlands High School, we were trash. And I mean trash, we were trash. I mean, you can go and look up at the scores. Like, we were bad. And, it was my first year I had ever played football. So I wouldn't, I was a big contributor to the trash. I was trash, we just didn't have the right, and it was the first year that my coach took over, and it was leading up to that point, we were just, I don't know, it was a bad system the year before, it was a bad system, so whatever. So the seniors on that team, the ones that actually that would play well. Whenever we would be losing, they would be on the sidelines and they'd be like, "Well, there goes burgers," and I'm like, "What are they talking about?" So I would stand next to them and they would be like, "Oh, 40 burgers," and I was like, "What?" Somebody's ordering burgers, 40 of them. So there's like 30 guys on the team. I was like, "Oh snap, somebody's ordering burgers for us." I'm thinking, it's a good thing. I look up at the score, we're losing by 45 points, and that's what they were talking about, burgers. So whenever we would lose, and during my junior year, we lost a lot. There was quite a few games we lost by 40 plus points. So, and those were the games where we got burgers. Those were the 40, that's where the term burgers originated from. High
Dude, I
school.
could just imagine like the seniors supposed to be leading the team. They just go out, you're gonna get smacked that night, like, man, we getting burgers tonight.
Burgers. And I didn't know. There was a few times that they did. They were just like, "Yep, it's gonna be burgers." Like we were, like it was a long season that year in my junior year in high school. It was like 2008 to 2009. Like that was a long season. So from that point on, I just took that to heart. And whenever I would see a team, lose by burgers, I just get excited now. And I'm just like, burgers, man.
We getting burgers.
I got fed so many burgers my junior year at Highlands that I just get excited whenever another team is getting burgered. So you see a team getting burgered, just yell out burgers. So over the weekend, I'm gonna read down the burgers list, and this is almost like it's not an insult to the team. It's just it's what it is. You order burgers, you got them. So. So actually, Connecticut, you're lucky. You almost got burgers. They dodged it by one burger. They lost to UFC 56-17. Missed the burger list, but that's an honorable mention. That's a shout out. So the first introductee. This is of the first time I've ever to the burger list for this week. Southern U. Southern U lost to TCU 55-7. Burgers.
Who the hell is Southern U?
Southern U is located, I hope, in
The Southern?
I don't know. Southern University, somewhere in the South, I would imagine.
Now, I just want to throw one thing out there about Southern University.
What's that?
I'm looking here on Bleacher Report, just looking at that score.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see any logo on it.
Ooh,
That's when you know you went against a bum team.
that is. It's like uh, Southern University and AMU. It's in Baton Rouge. I guess that's a Jaguar. I just looked up the school, but it is what it is.
Burgers.
You got burgers. Burgers. It doesn't matter. No one told you to play. You guys didn't have to get on the field, but you decided to get on the field. Do you want to read the next one from the burgers list?
Uh, it looks like we got Ohio State put up some burgers on Oregon State, 77-31.
Oh man, Ohio State got him. So,
Oregon State was eating.
Oregon State, welcome to the burgers list.
77 points, man.
77-31, welcome to the burgers list. Next on the list, Oklahoma, which is ranked 7 right now, versus, I guess it says FL Atlantic.
Florida Atlantic. Yeah, that's what I'm looking at.
Yep. We got it 63-14. Burgers.
Burgers.
Welcome to the burgers list, fellas. You guys earned it. Keep eating.
Oh my gosh, look at Furman.
Furman.
Congratulations, Furman. Get him put burgers on you, bro. 48-7. Clemson stopped
48-7. Burgers, burgers, burgers. We're gonna keep on going down the list. Oh, this one is the most amazing one. There's other. I want to save this one for last. I want to save the Georgia Austin. I want to save that one for last. We got Okay, looking through the list. Alabama, number 1 ranked. Obviously, they should be putting up. Nope, they didn't get it.
They were close to the
It's
burgers, man, but they didn't. Louisville, congratulations. You guys avoided burgers.
You're on the honorable mentions list. You missed it. Good job, guys. I wanted to put you on there. So who else we got? We got MS State. Whew.
Yeah, Mississippi State.
Burgers.
And Stephen F. Austin. 63-6.
Whew.
That's burgers.
That's burgers. That's a lot of burgers you guys collected. Burgers.
Burgers, man.
All right, now my favorite score from over the weekend, because it's not often that you get burgers with a side. Usually you just get burgers. But Austin P, they received burgers and the big old golden goose egg. And so Georgia beat Austin P 45-0. 45 burgers and a golden goose egg. I just gotta clap that up. We gotta clap it up for them. That is burgers. Congratulations to Georgia. You fed them well.
Congratulations to Austin P, man. You guys ate well.
You guys ate up for the weekend.
They got burgers with an egg on top. Come on.
Now, I just want to say I've never heard of Austin P before. And I think that's the reason why.
They're eating, bro. They're just eating.
They're just eating burgers. So that was the burgers list. I would say, it was our college. Yeah, we had a few competitive games. The Maryland Texas game.
That's a pretty interesting thing to look at, just because football in Texas. That's a big deal, man.
Yeah.
And then they're gonna go and lose their opener to a team that's not ranked. Come on, Texas.
They got to step it up.
Vince Young is disappointed in you guys.
No, Vince Young. Then we had the Michigan Utah State 38-31. Michigan, good competitive game. And we also had, there was one more, Auburn Washington ranked. Auburn number 9 ranked. Washington 6. Auburn beats Washington 21-16.
Why are they playing such difficult opponents in week 1?
I don't know.
They're trying to make their resumes look bad?
I know. And then same thing with Notre Dame, Michigan. 24 Notre Dame, 17 Michigan. Notre Dame's ranked 12, Michigan's ranked 14. So early playing great teams playing ranked teams out of the gate.
Jim Harbaugh needs to get a new pair of khakis after that one.
Actually, that's the thing though. Harbaugh, he needs to start winning against some of the good teams, man.
Yeah, man, I'm tired of this, bro.
Yeah, he's got to start. He's got to start winning.
He couldn't win in the NFL. Went down to college, still couldn't win.
Same thing. So today we have eighth ranked Miami versus 25th ranked LSU. So that should be a good game coming on around later this evening. And tomorrow we got Virginia Tech 20 versus Florida State 19. So we got a couple more ranked games coming up.
Like, I really thought the strategy in college football was start off easy
And then
and
build
then
yourself
start
up.
getting your hard opponents.
But I guess it's just different nowadays. You just play whoever, whenever.
No strategy, man.
So that is the college football rundown. So we'll be doing, since we're weekly, we'll be doing some college football stats and things like that. Interesting things from the game. We won't be focusing too much on college football because there's just so much. But we'll keep you updated with that burgers list. And
Burgers list. That's all that matters, man. List.
I think I might make a graphic and put that on the Instagram list for every week. We have the burgers list, and put up the burgers list every week on Instagram.
Yo,
I got to figure out how to make a graphic for that.
Yeah, we'll look into it. We'll
just put, we'll make a cool graphic, put burgers everywhere, and then burgers, then you have the teams like what Georgia did to Austin Peay, burgers with a side of goose egg, we'll put that up once a week. So, that was and we're going to do that for at least, 14 to 15, 17 more weeks. So we'll actually be using the Instagram page now.
And you know what? Since you're mentioning it, make sure everybody on here, you guys give us a follow and follow on Instagram, subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
What else? We on iTunes and Spotify now.
Oh yeah, I forgot to. We gotta. Yeah, we were on iTunes, Spotify, Podbean. Check us out on Podbean if you do. YouTube as always. We're out SoundCloud. We're on SoundCloud. We are out there now. We're on 5, 6, 7 different platforms.
We are out in them streets. Share us. Follow us. We're getting big.
Exactly. And try to be that, try to be the number one fan. So you can always look back when we're big and popping and say, remember back then when this happened? Remember back when it was just YouTube? And then people be like, remember back when it was just SoundCloud,
Exactly.
So, it's always, and those shirts are coming. Promise. Those shirts.
Eventually, yeah.
Eventually, we're going to get some shirts made up. But, so, appreciate that. Just keep following, like, and subscribe. But now, since we're kind of done with the college, NFL starts this week.
I think there might be... Oh, shoot. Yeah, it starts next week.
Next week, okay. And next week.
Like September 6th.
I think that's this week. Because this is the first right now.
But it's Sunday. Is that the beginning or the end of a week?
I think that's the end of a week. No, I think that's the... Is it the
Do you mean it's starting this month?
Nah, man. I guess you're right. It starts next week. You're right.
Bro, you got me on the Kobe thing, and I got you on the dates.
You got me. There we go. You got me. You got me on dates and geography. you and Manu got me on dates and geography. So, NFL starts up. Any sleepers that you got for that? Well, we can. Do you want to do our predictions now or next podcast?
Let's do it next podcast.
Next podcast.
I'm mainly just focused on my fantasy draft I have coming up tonight.
Oh yeah. Who are you? Are you going with Gurley?
I'm gonna go with whoever they got on the top 100 fantasy players.
What do you know? A pick you got?
Nah, I don't know anything, man. I was just gonna log in and just start clicking around, on names that I like. Gotta get me some Gronkowski because that's my dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. If you get the top pick, you gotta go with Gurley, man. That's the consensus.
Yeah, but if everybody's going for Gurley, then don't you think that all the defense will be trying to stop Gurley this season?
But it doesn't matter if they're trying to. If they it matters if they can't.
That's true.
Like what Cam Newton said during his MVP season. If you don't like you don't like how I'm dancing, you don't like that I'm dancing. Stop me in the end zone. And
Well, they stopped him because he
not
didn't
that
win the
year.
Super Bowl.
Well, that year they only stopped him one, 2 games that year. 2 games out of what he was. I think the record was he was six. He was like 15-1 during the season, and then they made it to the Super Bowl. So I guess they kind of stopped him at the last moment. But
So his line would have been a lot better had they won.
if they only lost 1 game that year,
Yeah, if
I
they
agree.
just won the Super Bowl.
I agree. I agree. So yeah, but NFL. How do you feel about that helmet rule?
Yeah, that's a. I mean, there's two different things, right?
Mhm.
One part of me actually likes the rule.
Yeah.
One part of me, I don't know. You know what? I like the rule solely because I know how much brain damage and stuff
Mhm.
is happening to these dudes, and I'm not trying to see anybody get permanent damage like that.
Yeah.
The second part of me is like, F it, man. They already have that flag football league.
Yeah.
Just convert the NFL into completely flag football, and we'll be good.
Yeah, I agree. I'm caught on the fence with this because, yeah, I have that. It's football. At some point these guys are signing up. You gotta, if you're gonna play, you gotta accept the risk. From Pop Warner on the way to high school to college to NFL. You accept the risk when you play football. So it is what it is. But at the same time, the NFL, they're thinking like, hey, we're paying these guys money. The contracts aren't fully guaranteed, but at the same time, they're guaranteed to some extent. We got to
Yeah.
protect our assets. So, I mean, I understand the rule, but I think at some point there has to be an acceptance of the risk factor just to play football, and the NFL teams are going to have to accept that risk. The owners have to accept that risk. The players, they obviously accept that risk. It just is what it is. To play football, you have to know that you will have the CTE at one point, and if and it just is what it is. And I think that they probably got the helmet rule is probably a good idea in theory, but when you enact that, and I think the penalty is like at minimum it's like a 15-yard penalty. You can get fined. You can get fined or thrown out of a game depending on severity. I mean, it's just there's just going to be too much gray area with that penalty.
Yeah, but you know what? To be honest, when I was first playing football, like fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth grade, because that's all the football I played in my life, they always taught us how to tackle properly.
Yeah,
Right? They
yeah,
always said, don't lead with your head.
yeah.
They said when you tackle, you want to like have your head to the side of their body, like their torso, whatever, and you're gonna take them down.
hmm
I don't know where all these dudes decided to start like just freaking like spearheading tackles and stuff. I don't. When does that start as a strategy?
I don't know. I think it just happens naturally. You just get bigger and stronger, and you're able to smash your head through. Like I remember in high school, like I would I wouldn't really lead with my head at a lot of times. And looking back now, I'm actually really happy that I never really led with my head.
Yeah.
We'd be in the locker room and we'd take off our helmets, and the guys would be like, "Man, look at all these like all the scratches on my helmet," and they put stickers on the back of their helmet, and they'd be like, all these hits. And then one guy was like, "Cleve, where's your scratches at?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, my head just kind of moved out the way at the right time, yeah." Yeah. It's like, you gotta get some more stickers on there, and I was like, yeah. Like, and especially in high school, they'd be like, one of my friends was like, "Yeah, you got too much playing time to not have enough scratches on your helmet." So I'd just be like sitting in the locker room, like thinking like, should I just throw my helmet on the ground right now, get it scratched up? Because you'll see some guys, their helmets would be like looked horrible because they had so many hits to the head and they were banging on their head. But like it was just like, I remember I had got one good hit in high school, and I wouldn't say I was concussed, but I was just like, oh man, And I thought to myself, I was like, I don't really like that feeling. Not gonna let it happen again. So I would make sure that whenever I was doing my blocks, I would make sure that I would block in a way that my head would never hit their helmets. And it is what it is. This is probably the reason why I would never be able to make it to the NFL because I'm not really willing to damage my noggin.
Yeah, I wonder if like, cause even when I was that young, just playing in like seventh and eighth grade, I always thought about that. All I could think was, yo, if I like kept my head like straight and led with that, I felt like I was gonna crush my spine or like snap my freaking
Yeah,
neck off.
yeah.
So, like, does it not run through these football players' heads when they like start tackling like that? Like, oh my god, I'm gonna compress my spine and not be able to walk after this. Because I was thinking that when I was a kid, man.
I mean, it just is what it is, man. You just gotta, you just take it and you just get used to it. And it just comes natural for you.
I mean, I guess that's probably why I had to stop playing football. It was just a little too aggressive for me.
And I get some guys just really get really good at it, and to the point where they can do it without damaging themselves. But it's always that one time that just ruins your life.
Yep.
It's always the one time. You can do it 100 times and be perfect, and do it the hundredth and one time the same way that you did it the first time or the 15th time, and your head and your spine just gives way, and unfortunately you're paralyzed. It just happens.
Yeah.
So I understand both arguments. I think the Richard Sherman was really vocal about his displeasure in the helmet rule, and I forgot who else said we're just gonna be playing flag football one day. And all I got to say to that, man, if they do start the National Flag Football League, I'm gonna try out for that. I know that us guys on the sidelines that are watching at home, we're like, man, let those guys play some football, man. Let them play some football. It's gonna be flag football at one point. We gotta understand that that's only gonna be good for us.
I know, man.
That means we can
lives are at stake.
We can try out for the team now. If it's flag football, we're good.
Wow. You got those, like in that movie Invincible with Mark Wahlberg, they had the tryouts for the NFL.
We're gonna be trying
to have that for every team.
Flag football, man. It's good. This is a good thing. This is a really good thing. Let's make it happen. I'm down with it, man. I'm down with it. Let's make it happen. So we hit the anything other in the NFL that you need to talk about.
So there's two more things. First, Antonio Gates. This is just a quick one. Antonio Gates, somehow his old decrepit self signed back with the Chargers for a 16th season or something.
AARP,
like,
baby.
Man, get out of here. Get some of these other tight ends a chance, bro. I'm tired of having to think about picking you up in fantasy football. I don't want your old ass on my team. I'm sorry.
Hey, man. AARP is calling, man. They want you to come collect, man. They're afraid that they got to pay for all this insurance when you break your back, man.
That's what I'm saying.
Call it a career.
Like, he's definitely one of the best tight ends of all time. But come on, man. You're telling me there's not one other dude in the NFL who could just catch a football in the end zone. That's all he does is he literally posts up like a center in basketball and then catches it.
Yeah. Of course, he's one of the best of all time. He has I think 100 plus touchdown receptions. I think
more than I can count on both my hands.
Yeah, you're right. And once you're in that area, you're a pro. If you got more than I can count on my hands, you're good.
You're doing pretty good.
You're doing pretty good. Oh, how many blocks you had in that game? More than I can count on my hands. It's either good or bad. How many interceptions you had in that one game? More than I can count on my hands. Oh. How many fumbles you had? More than I can count on my hands. Oh, okay. But I had more touchdowns than you can count on your hands. Well, all right.
But yeah, Antonio Gates, please make this your last season. Like, what really is he bringing to the Chargers? It's not like they've really done so hot recently. So,
I feel like they're gonna have a good season this year.
hopefully, then he could retire.
I thought they said they was gonna win a Super Bowl. Whoa, whoa, whoa! I think they might make the playoffs. That's it. They might be a wild card.
Yeah, I don't know, man. On to the next one, though. The big news
Oh,
just happened like yesterday.
Raiders
Khalil Mack,
gone.
the Raiders' cornerstone, man, their defensive juggernaut, traded to the Bears like he's nothing.
Hey, well, he didn't sign for nothing. The Bears.
Yeah, how much he made?
What, like he's like the highest highest paid defensive player ever. I forgot what the numbers were. It's like 92 million or something like that.
Dang.
I think it's like 5 years.
So he got paid.
Yeah, I'm looking it up right now.
So I saw something like a tweet that oh yeah, it's 6 years, $141 million.
Yep.
But I saw somewhere it was Derek Carr said something like on Twitter like, "Oh, how could we let him go?" or something like that. And then somebody put under it, "We had to let him go after you signed that like $150 million deal." So it's like the Raiders couldn't afford him because they paid Derek Carr so much.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, but when you have your quarterback, I can see that.
It's like, would you rather have a quarterback who just came off that fat injury or Khalil Mack?
Oh, Khalil Mack, but as you
That's
know,
what I'm.
I don't know. The Raiders probably just thought Derek Carr was back to normal, but last season he wasn't really.
Yeah, Derek Carr hasn't looked the same since he got all snapped up, dude.
Dang, jeez, take it easy. But yeah, no, I agree. I'd rather have Mac, but it just depends on the season that day. Like this year will be a referendum on this whole situation. Like if Derek Carr comes out and he balls out, then it's a good decision. I mean, not a good decision, but it is what it is. If Derek Carr comes out and the Raiders sputter and they're like 9-6 like they usually are, or what is it like? They're like 9 and what?
7. 6, 7.
9-7, yeah, 9-7, or shit, even worse, like 8-8.
Yeah.
If they have like a bad season and their defense is trash, then the Raiders made a mistake giving that huge contract and not having the business wherewithal to predict the future. Because what I've been seeing with like this Derek Carr, who else? Who's Odell Beckham signed a huge contract.
Yeah.
Like the highest paid receiver ever. Who else for the running backs? I think a running back signed a big one. Like contracts.
Oh, it was we talked about him too. I can't even remember.
I forgot who did it. But
one of them running backs signed a big old contract though.
Huge contract. Was it whatever? But
was it Gurley?
That's what I was thinking. I think it was
Gurley.
It was Gurley. These guys contracts are just getting bigger and bigger. And what it is every player, like if you're in the league and a guy gets like a defensive player signs the like the highest like contract ever, and you feel that you're in the same league or you are in the same like area as far as ranking as he is, that's only making the situation better for you. So like the top running backs are looking at Todd Gurley like, man, congratulations, but now I get to eat too. Like every receiver like Julio Jones, and what's that for?
Antonio Brown.
Yeah, they're looking at Odell and they're like, oh, okay, look, that's good. You signed the highest contract ever for a receiver. I'm in your talent range. I'm getting paid. Even like AC Greener's looking at that like, oh yeah, I'm getting paid.
Yeah.
So it's always good for the players when a new player gets like the biggest contract ever because it just sets the market higher, and it also sets the floor. The floor becomes higher, when the ceiling is higher.
Yeah, I can see that. It's just those are some big contracts for these dudes who be hitting their heads together.
Hey man, like
I feel like it's a lot easier to pay these big contracts to like soccer, like the soccer players and the basketball players
yeah.
and baseball players, because you have a pretty good inkling that they should be able to stay healthy at least for that long.
Oh yeah, yeah. No,
Football, whew,
I feel
6 years.
Oh yeah, I feel a lot more comfortable giving like a, Devin Booker $100 million contract because at least I know
At
that
least, yeah.
he's been injury prone, but I feel that he has a greater chance of staying healthier because he's not running into another player or running
Yeah.
into a brick wall every day.
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely agree with that. Or like soccer contracts because those guys aren't. I mean, they still get into little scuff ups and collisions, but they're not getting
Yeah, it's not constant. It's not like every single play
every play.
someone's smacking you in the head.
Yeah, every successful play, somebody's getting hit. Even no,
Yeah.
every single play, somebody's getting hit.
Every single play somebody is getting hit.
Yeah. So, yeah, exactly. I agree with that.
Now, what I do like about this trade though for the Bears is they just drafted some dude in the first round, like who is the best linebacker in college. This dude from Georgia, I saw him play a little bit. Roquan Smith or something.
Oh yeah.
That dude was nasty.
Yeah.
So now you're pairing him up with Khalil Mack. Oh man, that's gonna be a sick defense. Hopefully.
Oh yeah, that is true. You might want to think about drafting the Bears defense when you
Yeah.
when you do your.
And then like just take some back to those days when they had like Brian Urlacher and stuff, where they just had those dirty defenses that like always kept them relevant.
Chicago was always a defensive team.
Yeah, so I like that. I like that they're going back to that. Just gonna have some destructive defense, you know?
Yep, I could definitely see that happening. And this year, I'm definitely gonna be watching a lot more football. So can't wait to see how that plays out.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're at about an hour and 7 minutes. Anything that we missed? Anything extra you want to talk about?
No, I think just NFL preseason happened. I don't care much about it. The only really other big thing is the 49ers just got that running back, Jerick McKinnon or something, that they were going to – I think they wanted him to be their number one back.
Yeah, he's out.
In practice, this fool got injured for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
So just stuff like that.
Yeah, that's a blow.
Yeah.
So, okay, so there's one thing that I was watching this documentary on AAU basketball. It's on Netflix. It's called At All Costs.
Yeah, I think I've seen it with Jackson Parker Cartwright or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And the most interesting thing that I saw from that is that they were talking about how at one point the high school basketball coach had the most influence or had the most, contact with scouts from colleges. But they were saying on this documentary that the AAU coach now had the most contact and the most power in getting his players to go to, these colleges, right?
Yeah.
And because, as you know, like colleges, top level colleges, even like top level community colleges, they are sponsored by a team, like a shoe company. You have your
like
Nike
the brands.
schools. Yeah, you have your Nike schools. You have Adidas school. Even at American River College, we were a Nike school. So we had all of our like Under Armour and stuff like that, or our workout shirts and equipment. It was all Nike equipment. So you have these Nike schools and then you have these Adidas schools, right? And then at the AAU level, you have these Nike teams and Adidas sponsored teams. So most, you got to think about how the AAU coach keeping up with the brand is kind of giving the Adidas schools more exposure to his players if he has an Adidas team. So if they have that power at the AAU level to college, what do you think happens when the NBA the NBA gets rid of the requirement for high school players to have to go to college?
Or like what's gonna happen to the high school basketball game?
Yeah, like how much power is that going to have with the AAU coaches that have a lot of power now? Now they're discussing directly with NBA teams. Like, is there going to be like a, I just think it's interesting that dynamic. How is that going to change? You
Oh,
know,
like those. That's a good point. Those AAU coaches that are gonna have so much power.
yeah, because that's what I was watching the documentary. I was like, yeah, they have, they were making it seem like, like I don't know that, but it was the Compton All Stars or whatever, Compton team. I'm not saying that,
Compton Magic,
yeah,
yeah.
Compton, I'm not saying he's shady or anything like that, but there's got to be coaches out there in the AAU circuit that are not they're that are about developing their players and getting them to colleges, but they're about that dollar and they're about their brand. Now imagine if they had, they're getting meetings with like top level coaches and recruits from the NBA, and it's funneling money back into their own pockets. There's gonna be a dynamic change. There's gonna be they're gonna be more powerful when the NBA gets rid of that one and done rule.
Yeah,
And so I just think that's something to look out in the near future, just to be
that's
on the
very
lookout.
interesting. Yeah,
So that's what I was when I was watching that program. I was just like, because it shocked me because like up until that watching that, I was still thinking like, you play high school, you put your 4 years in high school, and you send out your tape and you get recruited. But they're saying like, high school doesn't even matter. Like, that kid, he was like when he got hurt, he was like, it doesn't even matter that I didn't play in like my high school like
yeah. He
playoff
like
team.
skipped his entire like senior year
Yeah,
for high
exactly.
school basketball, but it was fine because he had the whole like AAU season,
Yeah.
and then like getting into like all the big name camps. Like,
Mhm.
oh, I got into Chris Paul's point guard camp, or I
Yeah.
got into uh, Kevin Durant's camp. It's just like I don't like it.
That's what mattered. That was what mattered the most. And I just remember when I was growing up, like, especially like when I was in middle school, like that's when I was really learning about AAU. I just remember like I always thought it was like a side thing,
Yeah,
and then
that's how I felt about it too.
guys were still like, I mean, the guys that guys still were playing high school, but they would play AAU in the summer just as a side thing. Even like so I come from more like the football background, so like guys, they were playing. There's no like AAU Pop Warner, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
Even if there was, I don't think anybody would do it just because there's way more tradition in high school football than there is in high school basketball,
yeah.
and so I just really think that's just something to look out in the future. Keep an eye on some of these. I guarantee you, like a lot of these AAU coaches you're gonna be familiar with a lot more with their names more once this one and done rule gets taken away.
That's scary.
And then think about it, like how they are getting rid of that college rule where if you go to the draft and
Oh, and
you
you
don't
could
get
go
picked,
back.
you can go back. How does that so that works? So I think more high school players are going to be just entering the draft now because there's the opportunity to go back to school and play or go to college and play. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because there's they can just if they don't get drafted, they'll just say, hey, I'll just go to I'll just go to maybe go to community college or maybe go to maybe a team might just pick me up if I don't get drafted. I think a lot of interesting things are going to be happening. So I think in the next 2 3 years, it's going to be a very interesting dynamic between AAU to college, AAU to high school. I mean AAU to college, AAU to NBA, community college. There's going to be or overseas, but these AAU coaches are going to be super powerful in the next 2 3 years.
I don't like that.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's just different, and I guess it's already been happening. I just wasn't aware of it.
Yeah, the documentary really showed how much power the AAU coaches right now
Yeah,
already have.
yeah.
How much power they already have,
Oh
and I
yeah,
can't imagine what'll happen
yeah. Already.
when the one and done rule is.
Oh yeah, when that one and done rule is taken out, they're going to be like the most powerful entity, more than the parents, more than anything. Because like I said, like they're AAU teams, and like why wouldn't an Adidas AAU team try to funnel its players to an Adidas college?
Yeah. Hmm.
And then you got to think about like the manage like agents that are aligned with like LeBron's guys, and like say like the agent just has Jordan brand guys, so that agent is going to work with the AAU coach and only try to get his team to where his guys are.
God, I hate it, man.
So,
I hate it.
Yeah, like I'm an agent. I got 5 guys on the Celtics. I'm going to try to like get with this AAU coach, only give him, tell him like, hey, get my guy to the Celtics and only have this guy speak to people on the Celtics.
Ugh. It takes away from like the purity of like going up through basketball and just like working hard. I'm not saying they're not gonna work hard, but it just takes away from it in my eyes. I hate it.
Oh yeah, no.
Money driven stuff, man.
I mean, I hear you. I agree.
Ugh.
So that's just something to think about. I don't even want to end it off in like a bad note, but that's just something it's been on my mind the last month or so that we were on hiatus. It's just like that documentary really like shed some light on what basketball is right now, and it's all gonna it's gonna come to a head in the next 2-3 years.
That's very interesting. I'll probably get more and more angrier as these next few years happen then.
Yeah, man. But, the NBA is a star-driven league, so it's only just going to be more popular, bigger contracts with the networks, bigger contract for players. And, it is what it is. It's just a huge business.
Fantastic.
It's going to start from when these kids are in high school. So you guys, what I'm saying, like you got to think about like, and then the NBA is getting to the point where they're getting tired of like see, it just keeps on. There's just more to it. The NBA is getting tired of the tanking teams. So just because you're a bad team doesn't necessarily mean you're gonna get like the best players anymore. So it's just a lot is happening, and I think a lot is gonna be pretty interesting just to watch. And I know I've said that like 5 times now, but that's just how like stuck on it I am.
And we'll see what happens.
All right, man. Anything you want to say to wrap this one up?
No, not really. Just wanted to finally show my allegiance to my official football team that I'm representing, Everton. They're in the Premier League. I was following them back in college. Kind of fell off, but I'm right back on it, man. Go Everton.
Congratulations. And y'all already know how I do, man. Mans all day. So we are glad to be back to you after our little hiatus. We'll definitely try to keep content flowing in as best as possible. But I mean, I'm not gonna try to push the schedule on my guy here.
Hopefully I've figured this out. Hopefully on like Saturdays or Sundays we'll always be able to carve out an hour or two just to get this stuff done and get something out to everybody.
And I like you guys so much that if we can't get an episode out, I will interview some random person about some random topic, because right now we have the podcast going, and it just so happens that I'm the one with more free time, and since Carl actually has a job, don't want to really push him too much and make sure he has a demanding job where he has students, so we want to make sure that he's able to give his all to his students. So I'll just interview some random person, and then we'll just be talking about things that they want to talk about, and I'll just ask them random questions. But yeah, all right, so anything else, Carl?
It's good to be back. Hopefully we're back on this next week. Keep looking us up on all the social medias. Share us out, guys. Have a good week, and hopefully you guys all had a good last month.
I just want to say in closing, summer's almost over. Fall is coming. So don't fall behind in your studies, your jobs, or your schools, or your practices. Strive to be the best that you can. Let's all be better than we were the next day, even though we are all dying a little more every day.
Oh my God.
So let's fight against it. and become better versions of our dying selves. I'm out.
That was intense.